Welcome, everyone, to the Marijuana Times Show, February 16th, 2018. I'm your host, Joe Klare. Find myself, many other great writers over at marijuanatimes.org, covering all the news you need from the cannabis community, industry, and beyond. Of course, you can find every episode of this show at marijuanatimes.org. You can easily share them with your social media cohorts. Also, make sure you search Apple Podcasts for the Marijuana Times Show. Rate, comment, all of that stuff that helps improve the visibility of the show and therefore helps us spread the truth about cannabis. That would be dope of you, as the kids say. Today we're talking about a little update on the court case, the federal case against Jeff Sessions on behalf of medical marijuana patients. Also, Colorado marijuana sales are in for the totality of 2017. We'll see what that number is and what it means. And also, the latest on legalization in Canada. Spoiler alert, it's not the best news if you're a Canadian cannabis consumer. Talk about all that coming up. But first, of course, I'll tell you at the Marijuana Times Show is brought to you by NatureSideCannabis.com. Grow safe and poison-free with their line of organic, all-natural pesticides, and take advantage of their expertise in order to be regulatory compliant in the state that you're in. Most states, they have legal cannabis cultivation. They have rules about what pesticides you can use. Some of them are bad, some of them are good. Of course, Natureside Cannabis is on the approved list for pesticide use in Colorado, Oregon, and Washington, and a proud sponsor of the Marijuana Times Show. That is NatureSideCannabis.com. Site is spelled C-I-D-E. Go check them out today, which I would spell that as well, but I think you know how to spell today. And all the other words. Some people think side is S-I-D-E. No, it's C-I-D-E. Natureside Cannabis. As I said, go check them out. This first story is from marijuanatimes.org. The court case against A.G. Sessions, the DOJ, and the DEA began in New York this week. Now on Wednesday, I believe episode 73, if memory serves me, which sometimes it does not, but I think it is in this case. Episode 73, we play some of the press conference that is referenced in this article. As always, all the stories I talk about, there's links in the description of the video. So you can go find them for yourself. Julia Granowitz covered this for the Marijuana Times. Like I said, she recaps what happened, the plaintiffs, the press conference, and all that. Again, if you want more information on that, check the article or episode 73. Also, an update on when we will know if the case is moving forward. She says, unfortunately, there was no set deadline for Judge Hellerstein to decide on whether to grant the government's motion to dismiss the suit or not. However, he could have decided from the get-go to dismiss the case, but instead he chose to hear the arguments as to why the case should move forward or end here and now. So in other words, the fact that he didn't dismiss the case outright is very good news. He also suggested that the government not even bother with the argument that cannabis holds no medicinal value, and acknowledged how it benefits the plaintiffs, which means he clearly knows what medical marijuana helps millions each day. The lawsuit was filed back in July, has already moved ahead of several other cases, and are waiting a court date with Judge Hellerstein. It's clear that the judge understands this is a critical issue that needs to be handled both carefully and quickly. So we don't know when the case will continue, but it has not been dismissed, which is great news. And of course, when we know more here at the Marijuana Times, we will let you know, either in print or on this show, or both, about when the lawsuit will move forward and what that means for the plaintiffs, which is a group suing Jeff Sessions and the federal government over the constitutionality of federal prohibition on cannabis. Alexis Bortell, NFL star Marvin Washington, a lot of other people are plaintiffs in the case. A lot of people said it's a long shot, but, so far, it looks like that may not be the case. At least there is a shot, which is what we're looking for. Until Congress gets their act together and removes the prohibition on their own, you have to explore every avenue and every possibility for ending the Schedule I status of marijuana. The next story is from the Cannabis. Colorado marijuana sales hit $1.5 billion in 2017. Yes, billion. The state's marijuana shop raked in $1.51 billion of sales of medical and recreational flower, edible and concentrate products during 2017. That's according to the Colorado Department of Revenue data released last week. Adult use sales topped 1.09 billion, which means the remaining 400 million or so coming from medical marijuana. Colorado collected up to $247 million in taxes and fee revenue from marijuana sales, according to state finance data. December of 2017 was a record 128.27 million, but analysts and economists caution that sales may soon plateau. The rest of this article is basically conjecture by economists and other people who estimate that it's going to plateau somewhere next year, which they have no idea of knowing because they don't know what the supply is going to be. They don't know what the demand is going to be, so they don't know if sales are going to plateau. And later in the article, they even conjecture that the black market, the marijuana black market, is down 90%. Yeah, Adam Orens, founding partner of Marijuana Policy Group LLC, estimates that 90% of Colorado's black market sales have been absorbed into the regular market. There is absolutely, positively, no way to know that number. Now, I don't mean to nitpick, but I see this kind of stuff all the time. There's no possible way to know that number. It's the black market. There is no data available. Drug dealers don't pay taxes. They don't keep records and then turn them into the government for the purposes of great data cataloging or whatever. To know if it's 90% has been absorbed, you have to know first what the black market was before legalization, and then you have to know what it was after legalization. And the first number, drop that 90%, you get the second number. We know neither number. We don't know where it started or where it's at. So to say it's 90% is pure conjecture. It could be 85%. It could be 12%. It could be 48%. It could be 99.8%. There is no way to know. It's the black market. There is no data available. I know you estimate. I know that's probably this guy's job or whatever, and that's great. I mean, that's fine. And I hope he's right, by the way. That would be great. I doubt he's right. But again, I have no reason to believe that. My gut tells me that it's probably less than 90%, but gut is not data. There's no gut data section. Well, my gut, let's see. We got the numbers, we know the percentage, but let me add in my gut and we'll, put that in and we'll get a new average. No, there's no way to know if it's dropped, how much it's dropped. I assume it's dropped some. Obviously, people are buying legal marijuana. That's money that can't go into the black market because if they're buying it legally. So we know it's dropped some. That's all we know. Hopefully it's 90%. That'd be great. That'd be great, but it's, it's an estimate, which is fine. Estimate all the way, but, don't go around telling people, well, the black market's been absorbed 90%, which is what a lot of activists will do. They'll say, oh, well, it's there's been a drop in the black market 90%. They'll take that number and run with it, knowing that it means absolutely nothing. It's a complete and utter guess. There's no way to know where the black market is because there's no data available to have a percentage drop of any kind. Anyway, enough on ranting on that. Let me rant on this for a minute. Canada postpones marijuana legalization. Yes, Canadians will have to wait until at least early August or later to legally purchase recreational marijuana. Talk about estimates. As recently as last week, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's government was insisting it was on track for legalization in July, but given a new Senate timetable to pass the legislation, Health Minister Jeanette Petitpas-Taylor conceded Thursday it won't be done in July. Petitpas-Taylor reiterated, I hope I'm getting that name right, probably not though, that provincial and territorial governments need 8 to 12 weeks following Senate passage and royal assent to prepare for retail sales. That puts it in August and possibly not until a month later. So you know how you heard over and over and over again about July 1st. July 1st, marijuana legalization in Canada is going to happen July 1st. Forget that number. We've covered this story before. There's been rumblings that the Senate was going to take a long time, and maybe July 1st wasn't a good date. It wasn't a hard and fast date. It was just kind of an estimate. Well, that estimate is very, very wrong. Now the estimate is August at the earliest, maybe later in September. We will see. There's absolutely no way to know. But as I mentioned many times before, the Senate up in Canada moves slowly. The government up here moves slowly, even in comparison to the United States, which moves pretty slow at times. So, don't just, if you're a cannabis consumer in Canada and you're not a medical user and you're not getting it that way, just calm down. Don't have your heart set on July 1st or August or September or any of it. You'll know. It'll be in the news. They'll tell you it's legal. You can go here and buy it, and then you'll know. Until then, don't hold your breath because you'll turn blue and pass out as you would when you were a kid and you held your breath. Thanks, everybody, for checking us out. That's the end of the week. Now that you've watched the Friday episode, you can officially start your weekend. Marijuana Time Show for February 16th, 2018. Thank you to naturesideCannabis.com, a proud sponsor of the show. Go check out the organic, all-natural pesticides. Thanks to everybody who likes and shares and comments on these videos. Please continue to do so. Help us spread the truth about cannabis with the Marijuana Time Show. We'll see you all next week.